just a quick recap. We're four sisters from Canada who love to read and talk about books. So once a month, pretty much, I think we're pretty much our schedules every first Sunday of the month. We meet up. One of us will pick a book, then we discuss it, and then we will post it on YouTube the Monday after. Rough around the depending on our schedules. We've pretty much been sticking to that schedule. But I guess just introduce yourselves, ladies. Somebody start.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Elle.
And I'm Emmy.
And I'm Lainey again. We are the Crazy Bookish Asians. So I picked today's book, and the book I picked is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Just a background story. I've been hearing about this book. Is not new. Obviously, it's a few years old, and I've been hearing about it, and it got good reviews from a lot of people. So I figured it'll be a good book for us to discuss. And I guess we'll start with who? Elle, you want to start and see? So if you like, what do you think about the book?
Oh my God. Okay. Perfect. Of course, you would ask me to start. And this is the one where I didn't have time to make notes.
Well, that is good. It'll come from the heart.
Yes.
Were you procrastinating?
Well, I did finish it. And then I was keep telling myself I'm going to make notes before our book club meeting.
Yes.
And then, of course, work and all stuff, life happens. So I'm like, oh my God, I have no notes. Maybe I'll go last. But anyways, it's okay. I will go first. And you're right.
Okay.
If I'm rambling, it's because I have no notes.
That's all right.
What did I think of the book? Okay, we'll dig right into it. I actually don't know how I feel about this book. I guess let's just put it this way. On the one hand, it was a really good read. I think the fact that okay, so for those who don't know, it's a running joke with our group that sometimes the book for me, I stop and start books like this. Like, I pick up a portion, I stop, and then I start again. But this one, interestingly enough, as soon as I pick it up, I can't put it down. I want to know what happens. I want to know what happens next. So that's, in that sense, I really enjoyed that book. Now, if we're really going to break down to plot and like storyline, I think this is where I'm going to be all over the place because
Wait,
um,
sorry to cut you off. I forgot to give a recap of the book. So why don't you give us a quick recap of what the book's about before you get into it?
Geez,
I forgot. I told usually we'll do an explanation of what the book's about. It slipped my mind. But before you say your point, so now Elle is gonna tell us what the book is about. I know. Not only did you forget your notes, now you have to give us a quick recap.
Okay, so this is obviously it's about Evelyn Hugo and her seven husbands. There you go, done. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I guess this is about a writer by the name of Monique being asked by Evelyn to write her bio, and Monique is supposed to be this. She's not really a star writer. She's not a star journalist. She's a small-time writer for a magazine that got plucked by Evelyn for some reason to write her, to work with her on writing. And I guess Monique doesn't know why Evelyn picked her. And Evelyn just wanted only her to write her story. It's like a tell-all kind of story. And I guess that's how the story unravels, right? Is that enough? Is that good enough?
Good job.
We should put a disclaimer that there might be spoilers.
There will be,
yes.
Yes. You always have spoilers.
Yes. Yeah.
Clearly, 10th episode, and we're still working out the kinks here, guys.
I know. I know. Because I'm like, usually, okay, just to think, each one of us does, like, we host the book that we picked. So it's been like 4 months, 3 months since I hosted. So I forgot. I just forgot. So yeah,
Well,
there'll be
and
spoilers.
right, and we evolve, right? So so every time we're we're
It
always doing
changes.
something new. So I guess you just have to live with that.
Yes.
Anyways, okay.
Okay.
Yes, we do talk about spoilers. So yeah, so where was I now? Oh yeah, so um I mean, it's almost like it goes without saying. I think this really kind of talks about, for me, anyways, the golden age of Hollywood. Like, when we're talking about the late 40s, 50s, right? I think of Betty Davis and like Rock Hudson and all that. So that's the
Elizabeth
setting in my
Taylor.
head.
Yeah.
Yes, right. The young Liz Taylor, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, okay, so where was I? Yeah, so the writing, I think I like the writing. I think it was solid. It I cried a few times, like a couple of scenes towards the end. Usually that for me that means the writing works for me. Funny enough, when came to the characters, this is the interesting thing. I don't know how I feel about the characters at the end of the story. Do I like any of them that were I rooted for them? Um, no, I guess not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I could have like taken or left the characters basically, whether that's Evelyn or Monique. Um, the twist caught me off guard at the end. Like I don't know if it was I don't know if the others figured out, but I was like, because I was like waiting to find out what the twist was at the end. Why Evelyn picked Monique after all. Um, I was trying to connect put the pieces together between Evelyn's past and Monique's past, and I couldn't see the intersection until really literally right until it happened, and I was like, oh, like what? Okay, so maybe I'm not that quick to pick up things, but so that caught me off guard. That twist at the end. Um, Evelyn she's right. She's not likable. Um, Even when to the point that I thought I was about to like her, and even though I understood her motivation, at the end of the day, she's just really calculating right till the end. I think. Is that bad? Maybe not. I think like you understand her motivation. I understood her motivation. I didn't like how she did it, but at least I understood it. But like I said, she was calculating right till the end. So and probably I will probably interrupt you guys like as you guys talk more and I remember things in my head.
When did you finish
But
reading
I
it?
think I finished it I think middle of last week because I tried to put it till the end so it's fresh in my
Right.
head. Um I do have to stay with me for a few days because I was thinking about the story. I'm like, oh, like would I have done this? Would she have done that? Like what if this? And I guess that's a bit of a version of a book hangover in my head, but and that's the thing. I don't want to like. It's almost like I don't want to admit it gave me a book hangover, but I think it gave me book hangover. So I, s- like I said at the end, I don't know how I feel about the book. I'm still thinking how I'm gonna rate this book because I think there were pieces that I was like, oh wow, right, and then other times like, oh wow, really? So I yet to be determined, I guess. So, and like I said, I'm sure as the three of you brings up stuff, it's probably gonna like elicit more out of me. But overall, yeah, I guess it was a good read. So there you go. That's my
Yeah.
rambling without notes.
Yay! Thanks, Al. Okay. Well, obviously, we'll go back to each other's comments afterwards once we share our opinions of the book. Who wants to go next? Lisa or Emmy?
I went
Lisa,
first
you
last
want?
time, so Lisa should probably
Okay,
go. Yeah.
Lisa.
Okay, so I enjoyed the book. I read it slowly. So, and then towards the end, I read it all at once because sort of like Elle, I couldn't like put it down at the end. Um, I enjoyed it. I didn't like Monique at all. I thought she was like irritating. But she wasn't central to the storyline, so it didn't really matter to me whether I liked her or not. She was just sort of kind of like, to me, even though she was the main character, I didn't feel that she was. I felt like she was more like just a sort of someone, like a supporting character, so to speak, right? And Evelyn was really the main focus. Um, I found that I kind of, unlike Elle, I kind of figured out what the thing was towards the end. Okay, so I have to confess that I went online just to read some of the stuff, and then I hit like on a spoiler. I was like, oh shoot, right? So then I immediately turned it off because I was like, I
That
don't want to
is the
know. I didn't want
worst.
to know.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was just curious about some other stuff, and then I was like, right? So I was like, okay, fine, whatever, right? But that was only part of the spoiler of the what happened at the end. I kind of figured out why she wanted Monique to write the story. I kind of understood that. So I wasn't super surprised. Just a little bit surprised. And not because I got spoiled because I read the thing, right? But because there was like, to me, there was two parts to the surprise, right? So I kind of figured out at the end what the surprise was, but it was done well, I think, because had I not read that, I might have figured out some of it, but not all of it. So yeah, so that part. I liked the storytelling of each husband and this description. I didn't like any of her husbands. None of them.
Okay.
And I felt really bad for Harry. It's just his story is so tragic, the way they wrote it, and it was just very tragic, his story. So I felt a lot for him and also for her daughter, right? And even though Evelyn wasn't a likable character, I think she kind of, you could see her love for her daughter. So to me, that was like a redeeming quality in her, right? So I enjoyed reading the book. It was actually, it was really good. It was well written, and it was one of those easy to read books. Like, it was really easy. Like, literally, even though I was telling Emmy, I said, I'm trying to read it really slowly, right? But then towards the end, I was just like, no, I gotta read the whole thing, right? So I kind of basically read the whole thing, um, while I was trying to work. I, I,
No,
I hope no
I
one
hope
from
none of
work,
your I don't see this.
none of my coworkers see this. During my lunch break, right? So yeah, so I finished it. I finished it off on Monday, yeah, because I wanted to read the
Well,
whole thing.
as your coworkers can find out about it, at least as long as your boss doesn't.
Well, hopefully they like to read and kind of can see the motivation why you want to just,
Yes.
Well,
you
actually,
have
my
to
boss knows I
finish.
like to read. Actually, my boss
Okay.
knows I like to read, so it's fine. But yeah,
Is
no, it was like it was a very easy read for me. I enjoyed it. The writing was good, and so yeah, it was a good book. Even though all the characters were not. It's so funny. I've never read a book where none of the characters were likable. Like, I didn't like any of the characters. Like, not even her daughter.
right. Yeah, they all have their flaws, right? Like I think
Yeah,
that's
they were all of the characters were flawed. Like, I've never read a story that where each character was just not likable. Not like I hated
mm,
them, it's just they were not likable.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Yes. I was trying to resist the spoilers, so that's why I
Well, we can
tried to
probably
keep it
say,
vague.
we can probably say,
I feel like it's been a
yeah.
few years now, and okay, if you don't want spoilers, then maybe stop
Okay, so
watching.
you know what? So this is what I will this
For
is
those who are okay with it, continue watching.
okay, so
Like,
you know what?
We
Okay,
force
so then
we force each other to tell spoilers.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it, do it.
okay, so you know what? So what I'm going to say is that what I read online was the part where her father got into an accident with Harry. That's the part I
okay,
read, right? That's
okay,
the only part I read. I did not know the other stuff, right? Where he was Harry's
Mm.
lover. I did not know that, right? So that part I
okay.
figured out actually. As I was reading, I figured it out. I said, oh, he was Harry's love, right?
Oh,
Like,
okay. You thought they just knew each
yeah. So
other.
I figured
Okay.
it out. I figured it out, right? Because I was reading some part, and for some reason it clicked into my head, and I was like, oh, that's his love.
Okay,
The way
okay.
he fell
But
in love
but
with,
but I
right?
think, see, maybe I think because I think I forgot. I think I forgot how Monique's dad died. I think that's, you know what I mean, because I think they may have talked about it in the beginning, did they?
Briefly,
But
they didn't. They just kind of, she kind
yeah,
of glossed over it, like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
it
it
did
was,
affect
Yeah.
her. I
yeah,
think,
yeah. Because the way they said it
yeah,
was
but
like
it
he was
wasn't
like
like,
driving. He was the one driving the way they said it, right? Like
yeah.
something like that.
And
But
she was seven
yeah,
there
years
was
old,
really
and she
yeah,
no
was so
clue, I
young.
think. There was really no clue in that
Yeah.
sense that, oh, like from the beginning anyway, that I
Yeah.
can remember. Yeah.
you're right,
And then
yeah.
the other one I kind of sort of figured out was the love of her life. I figured it was none of her
Yes.
husband's. And then I'll just leave it at that because someone else can spoil that.
Okay. Spoil it. Okay.
Spoil it, spoil
All
I'm
it.
not
right.
gonna spoil. I'm gonna let someone else spoil it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks,
Thank
Lisa. Okay.
You're
Emmy,
welcome.
Okay.
here's a good
So
knock.
before I start off, I do want to say in honor of the book, Lainey and Elle are wearing green and I'm drinking
Yeah, I was gonna be.
martini. So
All the stuff I was thinking of
yeah,
before, I
yeah,
totally
yeah. Oh
forgot
my
once
God.
I started
And I'm doing
recording.
nothing. I'm sorry. I'm just drinking water
Well, you can
today.
be like Monique with just the right, you're
Oh
just drinking
yeah.
water. Yeah, yeah.
And not that I purposely wear green, but after I
Oh,
wore it, I was like, oh, perfect.
See, I mean, I actually be like, ooh, I'm gonna wear green in honor of Miss Evelyn Hugo.
yes, yes.
Cheers. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm.
I am the worst
No,
host.
no,
I
it's
literally
okay.
forgot everything
I
I was supposed to do.
smile for you. It's okay. It's all right.
Forgot. I just
What are
forgot.
you? What are you? You're drinking Negroni, right? Yeah.
I'm drinking a Negroni because I didn't want to open a whole
Yeah.
bottle of wine for like, and then I'm forced to finish it. So,
N-
cocktails.
Not for
I
Evelyn,
know. I'm drinking
anyways.
martini for the
I
first
know.
time, and I realized I
Oh.
don't
Eh.
really like it.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm doing it because Rex. There's a scene where Rex and Evelyn were
Oh.
drinking dirty martini. But I didn't want to make the dirty martini, so I
Right.
just made the classic. And I'm like, oh, I don't really like it,
With the
but that's all right.
twist. Yeah, I don't like olives. I
Yeah,
could never
yeah,
drink
that's why I couldn't make the
martinis.
dirty one. So dirty martini.
Yeah.
Anyways, I
All
do have
right.
a lot to say about this book. So I hope
Okay.
I made notes because I'm actually, I don't know if Elaine feels the same. This is probably one of the best fiction I've read in a while, just personally. It is. It's like
I'm
a,
touched.
and I actually wrote here. It's a very compelling,
Is that right, Evelyn?
very compelling narrative. So
Yes,
I
I
hope
would
you
agree.
guys don't mind. I will read some parts to that I really like.
No.
No, no,
Okay.
go
This
ahead.
is it's our book club.
Really,
You're the one legitimizing
shut
us,
up.
Emmy.
But I really,
Please.
really, yeah, I have no words for this book, and I'm really glad I actually ended up buying the the
The actual
actual
book.
book because I'm gonna be rereading
Yeah.
this for years to come, and
I think me too. I think I will
yeah.
too.
So
Yeah.
just the parts that I like. So Monique talking about her father. It was a really short part, but I thought it was so touching. Um, this part here, page 89. He told me he wanted to do work that invigorated him. He said, "You have to do that, Monique, when you're older. You have to find a job that makes your heart feel big instead of one that makes it feel small. Okay? You promise that, right?" Like just little nuggets like that. There's even a part where, you know what? Okay, so I'm getting ahead. Actually, I'll talk about that one later. Just the other parts that I like. And then Harry, out of the seven husbands, I actually have two that I like, and it's Harry and Rex North. I thought those characters were so well done. And like what Elaine said with Harry, when he passed away, I think that's what you were saying, right? That you actually cried. Was it? Did you say that?
No, L.
L.
It was
Yeah.
me.
Oh my God. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I forgot. Elaine has it.
Spoil.
So I thought, like, out of,
Just because we're both
I
wearing
know because you're
green.
To
both
you.
wearing.
Have been
I
drinking.
know.
How much
No,
have you been
not much.
drinking?
Not much. Not yet. Not yet.
That we look alike to Emmy.
Emmy, are you being racist,
I am being
Emmy?
racist. I can't tell you guys apart. I'm sorry.
'Cause we're both Asians
You're
and we're
both
both wearing
Asians.
green.
You're both
Please.
wearing green. You both have a white
We're
background.
sisters.
Yeah, I
We're
can't tell you
sisters.
guys apart.
And we're sisters.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I feel
Please
like
continue.
Harry's character, out of everyone, out of all the husbands, was the one who really saw Evelyn for who she is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Page 190. when he was talking to Evelyn, he's like, but I like you this way. I like you impure and scrappy and formidable. I like the Evelyn Hugo who sees the world for what it is and then goes out there and wrestles what she wants out of it. So, put whatever label you want on it, just don't change. That would be the real tragedy. And I thought that was such a perfect description of Evelyn. I really loved her character. As you guys said, she was flawed, but how her character is, it makes sense why she is the way she is. She's ambitious. She knew what she wanted from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, even from the first husband to the very end, how she handled her career.
Land, yeah.
Even though obviously there
Mm-hmm.
were tragic things that happened, like with the first husband, how she was abused by him. I feel like she never even really, even after that happening, she never really saw herself as a victim. Like she was always a fighter to me. And admittedly, yes, it did make her unlikable because she was so ambitious that she, like, the relationships in her life kind of had to take a step, yeah, like a
Backseat.
backseat, right? But she knew that's what she wanted. That was her goal. She went for it, and I just love that so much about her. Like, there's very, like, lately, like with female characters that we read, right? Even especially with romance, there's always like, well, I shouldn't really compare it with romance because this is contemporary fiction, but I find there's always just a part where the woman kind of has to, like, to appease the guy or whatever. But with Evelyn, she never did that. Like, I feel like she never compromised herself, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just so amazing.
I mean, you kind of have to respect her for being the way that she
Yeah.
is because she's
Yes,
unapologetic,
exactly.
right? She's
Yeah,
just who
like
she
even
is, right? Yeah.
with her relationship with Celia. Okay, spoiler, right? Celia is the main love of Evelyn's life. And I know that took a backseat, but even then, it made sense why, especially for the time that they were,
Yeah.
that they were living, right? It made sense why
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
They had to be
that
the
she had
way,
to be
right?
that way with her. And I love that scene when they were like, when she was saying, oh, four beards, right? Because with Celia and the football player.
The two
Yeah, and
couples.
then her with Harry, but it was Harry and John who were really lovers, right? So I thought that, and then her and
Yeah.
Celia, I thought
Yeah.
that was so cool. Just that part of the story, how that was written, so well done. Sorry, what else did I write here? The great use of foreshadowing, because like Loisa, Elle, I didn't actually see that thing happening, like with Monique's father.
Monique's dad?
Yeah. But I thought the way Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote about the foreshadowing on the book 223. Let me see here. When up to that point, and this is chapter 35, Monique was still wondering why she was picked, right? And then she was picked by Evelyn to write, and then she said, I have no idea that in less than a week Evelyn Hugo will finish her story and I'll find out what this has all been about, and I will hate her so much that I'll be truly afraid I might kill her. And the way she wrote that on the book, it just really makes you want to read it more. And I think that's what makes it put downable, right? Because you're like, what the heck is that secret?
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, like Elle, I never,
Yeah. She
yeah, I
hints. Yeah.
never saw that twist happening. That the Harry's lover was Monique's father. I never. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh! I was literally like, holy crap! Like, that is such a good twist. And that's why with books, when we do, I don't try to read reviews or anything because I know there will be spoilers. So I'm kind of glad that that came to me as a big surprise, because that was, for me, that was like a big part of me loving the book, was how that twist came in. And
Mm-hmm.
what else? I did find Celia annoying. Well, obviously Don Adler too. I
Yes.
like the first husband. Obviously, we know why we don't like him, because of the abuse that he
Yeah.
did. But
He's the second husband.
second, that's right. Yeah, because Ernie
Dawn
was
is
the
the
first one,
second.
right? Yeah. I felt sorry
Yes.
for the first
The one
one.
that got her out
Yeah,
of
yeah. The
house.
first, like a
I
very short
know.
relationship, but with
But I think it's good, right? Because he had an happy ending.
yeah,
He explained what happened. She
yeah,
explained what
that he
happened
ended
to
up
him.
getting married and having like a
Marrying somebody
grandkids. Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah,
They
and
sold him. They gave
like
him
with
money,
Celia, just
right?
how I find
So.
her annoying. There was a beautiful part where not beautiful, but it was really well written. When I think there was it in the Oscars, and Evelyn wasn't there. So Celia talked to her on the phone, and then and they ended up fighting. And then Celia was saying, exactly the same Evelyn I've been dealing with for years. Nothing's changed. You're afraid of who you are, and you still don't have an Oscar. You are what you have always been, a nice pair of tits. And then Evelyn was like, I let the silence hang in for the moment. The buzz of the phone was the only sound either of us could hear. I thought that was so mean. The way she said that. And then Evelyn was saying that was how it was with Celia. When you denied her what she wanted, when you hurt her, she made sure you hurt too. I thought, I was like,
Right.
yeah,
She
like
knows
that was,
how to like
yeah, because
dig.
they love each other. She knows
Stick it,
how to
yeah.
hurt Evelyn. Like out of everyone,
Mhm.
I think more than the abuse that Evelyn went through with Dawn, Celia was really the one who hurt Evelyn the most, because she was the one who's really close to Evelyn's heart, right? Like the love of her life, right? So when all these moments would happen between her and they would fight, like it's really the one that I think scarred Evelyn the most. So, like, I mean, in the end, it makes sense what happened, that, that after Celia died and then she got sick, that, she decided, right, that,
But see, I thought that was just feeding. Oh my God, I'm glad you mentioned Celia's
mm.
name because I forgot her name. I'm like, I wanted to call her Kathy. I
Well, it
don't know
starts with
why.
C. It starts with C. So it's close enough.
Eh,
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
Yes, but I think okay. See, I didn't feel the same way about Celia because, like you said, I think okay. So yes, Evelyn's character is so strong. I get that, right? Like I mean, like I said, you may not have to like her, but you understood her motivation. But I think she was consistent. But so then in her consistency, like that strength that she had, like the way Harry loved her, and then I guess even like Celia, the way Celia saw her. Um, but then I wish like really then I think that vulnerable moment, I think that's why I think Celia was able to do that to her, because Celia, like you said, Celia was the one that she really only really loved. But even those times where she really hurt Celia, um I don't know, I mean, I think she could have been more. I didn't fully buy her remorse in hurting Celia. I think even that's the problem. I think for me that even to that degree, she still was still calculating. She
Yeah.
knew she was going to hurt Celia, but it's just the degree of how much she's
Well,
going
that
to
was the
hurt
price that she
her.
had to pay in the end, like all that relationship, right? Like, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess that's true. Yeah, yeah,
well, you know
yeah.
that saying, right? It's easier to ask for forgiveness
Yes,
than ask
yeah,
for
yeah. Remember, right?
Permission.
permission.
That scene
Yeah,
when
Yeah. I think that's
that
pretty
yeah,
scene,
much,
right? When
yeah.
she had to do that
Yeah.
scene with Dawn, right? On the
Yeah.
film.
I mean,
Yeah.
because she knew she was
yeah.
gonna say no, that do not like. She anticipated how Celia was gonna react,
Yeah, yeah.
anyways. That she just ignored, like hoping that
But even
like
then, I didn't
she'll
like Celia
forgive
because
her.
as an actress, right? She should know. I feel like
Yeah, she
it's
should
a
just
part of
suck
the
it up,
job that
man.
Evelyn
I
had to do that. Like,
know.
Yeah.
granted, it was a very
I know.
sex scene, I guess, but it
Right.
was acting. Celia was an actress, so she should know.
But
That's what I
But
thought.
right, but I think but that's what it is because Celia acknowledged
Yeah,
it at the end. But I think Celia's point is she didn't give Celia a
right.
chance to
Well, it's
actually
exactly what
say
Elaine said. Like,
go
yeah.
ask for
for it,
forgiveness
right?
later. Like, yeah, and
Then
that's how she
Yeah.
was
permission,
thinking.
right? Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
and sorry, just one last scene that I really like. It's just a short description,
Yeah.
which just really shows me how great of a writer Taylor Jenkins Reid is. Because just this little one-liner, when Evelyn was talking about Dawn, after when they were doing that movie, right? Um, and this was chapter 43. Okay, here. Don was the sort of man who was always going to be handsome, no matter what happened to him. His good looks were just that loyal. I thought that line, I was like, oh my God, like that line, his good looks were
Yeah.
just that loyal. That was so witty to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I wish I can like write like stuff like that. It's just so well done. I love this book so much. Thank you, Elaine. I certainly I did want to read this book for a long time, and I'm glad you picked it because it's
yes,
like love it, love it, love it so much. I have really nothing bad to say about it in terms of the writing style, the arc of the story. Monique, even though she wasn't really a big part in a way of the story, her character arc, how she started off, and Evelyn's influence on her. You see it. You see it was the gradual change in how she treated her ex husband, how she became stronger in the end. Even though it's just really been a few days that Monique was with Evelyn, right, doing these interviews, but It's just so just the character arcs of all the character, like even Don and his stupid thing, like it was just so well done. Like I love when writers can do that. That even characters that you hate, it makes sense where their motivation comes from, and yeah, there was not a boring part in the book for me. So
See, I'm not surprised Emmy loves this. Like, this is the guy. This is so
oh
up
my
Emmy's
no,
alley.
it's
Like,
so good. It's so good. You guys
like
even
it totally is like this flawed characters right till the end, and I get it because like I totally agree about the writing. I think like that's probably only one thing for me because in any good book there has to be at least one character that would just kind of like you're rooting for. Like I get it's that's not the case all the time, but like Emmy and her flawed characters.
because we are all flawed in reality, and I feel like they are a
Are we
reflection of
really?
who we are as people in the society.
Speak for yourself. I'm perfect.
Except for Lainey.
I'm perfect.
Yes.
No, because Evelyn too, I feel like I
Oh,
wish I can be like that. Now it's like, what would Evelyn Hugo do, right?
okay.
No,
I don't think she'd
no,
want people to idolize.
in terms of how
Really?
she just saw life and how tough she was. It's nice to actually have like something like that within you. I feel like, every time you're so concerned about what other people would think, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, just sometimes you got to do what's best for you, right? So,
Yes. But
Or
if you're
or
willing to be a
sometimes
bad person, yes.
I was gonna say, or sometimes you read about flawed characters, and then you feel so judgy about it, but you don't feel bad about being judgmental because
the fictional
they're just
characters, yeah,
fictional
yeah,
characters, but you can indulge in your being
yeah.
judgmental.
Do you think you're holier than thou?
Yes, exactly. I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm not like that.
My
I mean,
God.
I would never do that.
We're like, oh, I'm gonna do worse than this. Oh my God. Is
That's
that
it.
it,
Yeah,
Emmy?
that's it. I
Are
am
you
done.
finished?
And now,
Yay.
lady, what do you think?
Okay. So I mean, I've mentioned this before. I've read mostly romance in the last decade or so. I am actually really glad I chose this book. I feel like it would have been a sin almost not to read because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the writing style. It was a quick read. I didn't like, what I mean? Like it was super easy. And one thing I will mention is those newspaper clips, the headlines added so much because it
Hmm.
brought the story along without
Yeah, without bogging it
extending
down. Yeah.
the book. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yes,
I was gonna say this
yes.
one thing before I forget. I like that. I actually do love Evelyn. I feel like I do love her. Not because she's bad, it's because she's fully aware. It's not like she
Hmm.
means to be bad. She knows she's doing the wrong things almost. But I'm not saying the end justifies the means, but
It does.
it's sort of I know, I guess in
Is,
her
also, is there such a thing as too aware? Like,
well, there's
I
some
don't
people
know.
who think that they're right. Like I don't think she's ever thought in
She
her
was
life
good.
that
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
doing the right thing. I feel like that made it more likable that yeah, she's like, I'm gonna do this. I know I'm selling, her whole thing is that she's selling her body, right? Like sort of
Hmm.
she's used her looks but since she was like I think she mentioned that since she was
14 or
12,
something.
14, that she knows that she got the looks like she was. And I like the fact that she's like I can't even take credit for it because she's just born with it. It's not like she worked hard on it, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
so I
Hmm.
think she knew that like hey, she was given this sort of gift, and if she wants to get out of her situation, she will just kind of use it to her advantage. I'm not saying it's right, but I mean I feel like if I always feel like if I was in the same, I always think like if I was in the same situation, would I do the same thing? I feel like I probably would. Like, but there's no other way out, right? Like at that time, I mean, I feel like in this, if you put in modern times, it doesn't look good. But at that time, there's really not a lot of choices for women, and I feel like that's I for me what I took from that is the sort of the hardship that women I think still now have to go through. There's a line that I really love that because when she had a kid, she was saying that Cecilia doesn't, because she said, yes, you can have a child, but she's like, what, sometimes, people don't even know that what they're secretly thinking. Celia wants, it's okay for me to be a mother, but just don't act like one. Like
Right.
that for me is like pretty much what
Have to go through,
women
yeah.
are like
Yeah.
living.
Even now, yeah.
Yeah, like all
Yeah.
the time. Like you're okay. It's motherhood should be your priority, but you shouldn't be so matronly. I think is sort of the idea, right? That you have to be still this bombshell for her. I mean, because that's her persona, it's her bombshell thing. So it touched me that way, that I think more in that sense of like what women have to go through, and even her. Okay, for her sexuality, and she even mentioned that if Dawn wasn't so bad to her, like would she even be drawn to Celia? I feel like Celia just came at a time. I don't know. I feel like Celia came at a time, but she is bisexual, but she also came at a time where she needed somebody because Dawn was being such a prick, right? Like, do you feel? I don't
Or
know. Okay,
yes, yeah.
okay. There's a thing before. I feel like women are more likely to accept, open to like that kind of relationship, right? Because she didn't even think she was a lesbian, right? Like there's a long time she just felt like this kind of,
It
she
was
was
just a
drawn to
natural
Celia, but she didn't
yeah.
even occur to her. Yeah, it didn't even
Yeah.
occur to her
Or I
that it
think
was sexual. Like,
or I think that makes her pansexual in today's in
is
today's
it
generation's language. I think because I
okay
think pansexual is just really getting attracted to
to the
whoever you're
person? Yeah,
attracted to. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Well, yeah, and that's why she was like, "Oh, so you're a lesbian?" They're like, "No, I'm bisexual. Like I told you, I was in
yeah,
love with Dawn." Like, and she was, I think, she was
yeah.
truly in love with Dawn for like
Mm-hmm.
the
She was.
Yeah.
You're
honeymoon
right. Yeah,
period.
yeah, yeah.
So
So she
that
was
I
bi for her only.
Hmm.
yes, I feel she said she was attracted to other women, but
But did
It
she?
not.
was
Because I thought
just
She didn't
I think
push.
that was
she
She didn't
Cecilia,
wasn't.
push.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Because she said, yeah. Because I think she said she always saw just Celia. She
So
tried,
still,
right? Like
yeah, yeah,
she,
right, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think you're right. So I feel like she was just really drawn to Celia's personality. Yes, Celia annoyed me a bit because I feel she's so unrealistic in her
She was
love.
also
Like,
insecure. She was so
she
Mm-hmm.
insecure
thinks,
about it too.
yes,
She was
But
very
I think that's
demanding.
that's that's it, right? I mean, am I the only one who
Yes.
likes Celia in
Yes.
this room?
so
Yes.
the spoiler for me is because every time I read a book, though, I was like, oh, I usually look for like, oh, what do other people think the character would look like? And then I saw them, Celia. I'm like, oh, why is Celia? And that was such a big problem. I'm like, oh, like I didn't think he was there. I didn't know any background, so I didn't know they were gonna fall in love. And I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't see those pictures. But then
Oh,
it came out
right.
like literally like so early on in the book, anyways.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like,
yeah. I did.
oh, they're
Yes.
a couple. I was like, I totally just spoiled myself. Like I should not even look at like
Yeah.
ideas, but yes. So Lois, L, you like Celia? I don't know. She was like,
No, but I think the only reason I like Celia is because I think she's just really more human, and I think that's with Evelyn. I know, like you said it, Emmy, you said it, lady, but I think she was so self-aware. Like who will not have that insecurity around someone like Evelyn, who is
um,
so self-aware that
like so
like
know her. She knows herself so well. Yeah.
she knows herself so well that like I mean I that's why I don't blame Celia for feeling the way she
Oh,
she did, and I think Evelyn understood that about
Yep.
Celia, right?
right.
So
And you did say she's just kind of like by for Celia, which I think Celia knows that. I think if she had
Yeah.
affairs with other women, I don't think Celia
Yeah,
would have
that's
cared
true.
as
That's
much
why she was more
yeah,
as
insecure, right?
as it
Because it was
was
only yeah.
with
So
the
yeah.
men, right? Because there's something. I mean, they won't be able to fulfill a lot of like if she was really
Yeah.
not gay, then she can't fulfill a
Yeah.
lot of the things that
Like
Mm-hmm.
Evelyn will need, which I
like even
kind of
having that
understand
kid, right?
why.
That was really realistic how they did that. That like
Yes.
Evelyn wanting a kid
Oh
and
my God.
Celia realizing, I can't give that to you, but Harry can. So yeah.
I started crying when she was like, when Celia's like, I'm so sorry I can't give
Yeah,
you
yeah.
that. Like, I was just like, oh, like, because she loved her so
Yeah.
much, though. I was like, I get, like, she really they really
Yeah.
loved each other, which is
But
like,
wasn't that such a
oh, it's
funny
so
scene though
Right.
when
sad.
they were like trying to like get it out there that they were gonna get married, Harry and Evelyn, and then they were like trying to make out, and then
Oh
they were doing
yeah,
that. Oh, have you even slept with a woman? Like and then Harry's like, "What? Are you think? What are you?" No, I thought that was scene was so funny. Like,
Oh, right, in
yeah,
that ravine or something, and Harry's like, "Oh, that's just a
yeah, yeah.
like a random
But
car,"
even when they
like,
were
oh, yeah,
when they
yeah.
were gonna
I hope
have
you
a
didn't
kid,
mind.
right? And then Harry's like, well, I think there's always a part of me that kind of
oh,
want to
right,
sleep with
yes.
you. And Evelyn's like, you're such a liar. And then Harry's like, well, I think a little
I
bit,
know.
right? I love Harry so
Well,
much.
she'll be like, I mean, she's definitely going to be a gay icon, right? If she was in
Yeah,
real
yeah,
life, like Evelyn is like
yeah.
epitome of a gay icon. Like
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
she is totally what all gay men would love in this day and age.
She's
Like,
like the
Yeah,
Liz Taylor and
yeah,
the
yeah. All
Cher, and
combined into
yes,
one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'll combine.
yeah.
What else I
I
was
read
gonna
that that
mention?
was her inspiration was Liz Taylor
Rita
and
Hayworth.
Rita
Yeah,
Hayworth, I think.
Yeah, Ava
that makes
Yeah,
Gardner.
that was
sense.
her
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was her inspiration. Yeah.
yeah,
And funny enough, like I think they can tell like Taylor Jenkins Reid really did her research, because when you talk about the four beards, because during
That's
around that
right.
time in
Yeah.
the 20s, the 30s, that's what they had to do, right?
yeah,
So
Mm.
like that's why you see here now all these stories back then where
yes,
these two couples living in the same house,
yes.
like supposedly, yeah, but they're actually each other's
Yeah.
beards essentially, right? So
So I
Mhm.
was like that's what I was saying too. Like I like that she added actually like the timeline, like with Rock
And the
Hudson
Stonewall,
and Elton
yeah,
John,
yeah.
riots.
like the
Yeah.
Yeah, she
She
Stonewall.
talked about
Yes,
that
Stonewall, right?
too.
it made it
Yeah,
more. You can feel
yeah,
it more because it's like it's within the real, like within the
Yeah.
real
right.
world, like the
Mhm.
timeline's
Eh,
happening.
and then that because of that time, like I think that's another reason. You're right. I think Harry is the only one really that I
To end,
love
yeah,
from
yeah.
beginning to end. Right. I
Yeah,
think that's why I was so affected by his death. Right. Because I think even at that time when they wanted to riot or go down to the Stonewall, that like riot themselves, Harry's like, no, let's not
The
take away
attention, yeah.
if we go there, then
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna shift the focus to us. Like she said, let's
Yeah.
give them what they cannot
Money.
have, which
Yeah.
is money,
right.
right? So they have the funding, the backing, right? So
But I
yeah,
feel like I do like Harry's character because I think for them I feel like they would have been happy, when they had a baby. Like I feel like there is real love. Maybe like not
Yeah.
sexual, but there
Yeah.
is real love between the
yeah,
two
In
of
terms of
them.
Mhm.
soulmates, I do
Mhm.
think Harry
And
is a
with
soulmate, right?
Harry
Yeah.
is a soulmate.
Yeah.
I
well, but
was
that's why
oh my god, I
Evelyn
was
said. That's what
crying.
they said. If it's possible to have soulmates,
Oh, right,
remember Evelyn
right.
said that. Like
Oh, right. Harry's
Harry is
one of
one of them,
them.
right? Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the father, Monique's father, I did guess it after she talked about the accident, and she didn't bring up who person that died. I was like, I did. It clicked in my mind. It had to be Monique's dad. Like she
Oh,
Oh,
kind of
really?
same
just
So
here.
see,
I
it
didn't
didn't.
even occur to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
oh really? Well, because I was like, why wouldn't you
No.
talk about
Yeah.
who was the other person? Right? I feel like that would have been natural to talk
But
about it
even the
right
dad.
after. So,
Oh, I assumed it was an
Mm.
actor or something. I thought it was just
oh
a
really?
random
But
Okay.
even that's such a
actor.
minor character.
Yeah.
He was like literally just a blurb, right? But the
Oh, the
letter, oh my
letter.
god. Oh, that
I
just
I
oh
know.
know. Oh, the letter. I
yeah,
Yeah.
think I was
yeah.
crying that too, which shows you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sometimes sort of. And again, I think this. In terms of book hangover, I did it because I felt like there were so many topics
Yeah.
that the book touched on, like in terms of the love for your family and like
Yeah.
romantic love. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes you have
Yeah.
to pick which. I mean, sometimes like what's worth it, right? Like what's worth it to
Yeah.
ruin
Is it worth it to
your
ruin your
family?
family over
Yeah.
Yeah.
your lust for another person? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's like, as much, and he mentioned as like, as much as I love
I
you, it's
know.
like, I love my
I
family. Maybe
know.
not the
Oh my
same,
gosh.
but just as
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
right? Just as
Yeah.
much.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
kind of, and like, I like that she touched on that. That's sometimes she's like, it's not even the mother's like, it's not like a
Yeah.
sexual relationship, but I love your dad
Yeah.
so much. Like, so I was
Mhm.
like, I really liked it too. And I'm so happy I read it. And I'm happy this is such a different tone from last time when we're talking about Ice Planet Barbarian.
We're not talking about horns and tails.
It's such a different tone from the last time.
See? So if you're tuning in for the first time, Just be prepared for the other
Yeah.
conversations.
So we talked about alien sex, and now we're talking about,
About
like real,
flawed
talk about like
characters.
flawed characters dealing with like homosexuality and like in the golden age of Hollywood. It's like we go
That's
all over
right.
the
That's
place,
what a
and
book club is. Yeah.
that's why we
Mhm.
love our book club. That's why we love our book club. But
Oh God.
yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good, and I actually want to read. This is my first read from Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins, yes.
Taylor
Yeah, me
Jenkins
So
Reid.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her writing. I kind of want to now. I have to read the. I feel like I was probably gonna read the other
But
ones
now
too.
I'm
Like,
scared. I'm
so I like her
scared though because
style. It's
yeah,
not
but
gonna be
it's
as
so
good.
the bar was set so high, right? So
Yeah. Then
I
you read another one,
know.
and what if it sucks?
Mm, they're not gonna be
But
all
I think
winners, maybe, or
no, but I
maybe they
think
will
Daisy.
be.
But I think Daisy's
That's
second
true.
read
A
was
lot of people
better. I
did
think
like
if I
that. Yeah.
recall correctly.
I've heard that that's a good. I've
Yeah.
heard that's a good book too. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
So
all in all, I enjoyed the book.
it was good. The
Yeah.
writing was good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the writing
I
was
know.
really good. Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
it's good that you actually picked this, Elaine, because you're right. Like I think like everybody here, it's been on my like Kindle forever. I have like all of
Yes.
Taylor's other books. But would I have gotten to read this? And I think this is the kind of book that you want to talk about with other people, because
Yeah.
otherwise, like
Yeah.
otherwise you'll be texting at 2 in the morning and then hoping
Yeah.
someone read it, like someone read it.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like I wouldn't. What's the sad part is I probably wouldn't have picked it up. I probably would have picked another romance for like my comfy, fluffy reads. But I'm glad this actually a book made you think. I think, and it's like it's well done, and her descriptions of the characters are very like precise. Like I like that. Even her, it is like almost a blonde Elizabeth Taylor, right? It's like the straight, the
or
sh-
or a Latina,
Oh yeah. So let's
Latina
talk about the
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
casting if
Taylor.
you're
Taylor,
gonna
right?
cast it, because what I thought of
Yes.
was
So
Ana de
next one,
Armas, right? Because she did blonde,
Oh
yes.
as
yeah.
Marilyn Monroe, and I
Yeah.
was like, she can totally, or
Oh,
also Scarlett
Monroe,
Johansson. I kind of pictured too. So
yes.
Really? I thought maybe, I mean, in terms of bombshell,
Oh.
Ava Mendez,
mm,
I thought like sort of had that
Oh
bombshelly
yeah. Yeah.
look
Hmm.
with
Or I was thinking of
blondes.
actually Sofia Vergara or something.
I know her accent
But I,
sometimes,
but
like
I'm
I
yeah,
can't
oh
imagine her
yeah,
because of that. I know her accent comes with it,
oh
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah. Oh
like
yeah, that's true, because like because Evelyn did her best
yeah,
to
yeah.
like remove her
to
accent,
hide
right?
it,
So
yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, she
yeah,
will be
yeah.
good too, actually.
Yeah.
And then for
But I don't
Celia,
know, but
right? Everybody thinks it's what's her name? What's that
who?
actress's name? The redhead. Everybody was like wants her to be a part of it.
The
What's her
The one in
redhead.
name?
Mad Men.
Yeah,
That one. No.
Christina
Oh.
Hendricks?
no,
Is
no,
that
no,
her
no,
Oh.
name?
no.
Christina.
Yeah, I think
No.
that's her, Lisa. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christina
Yeah.
Hendricks,
What
I
is
think.
I
that
don't know,
Hmm.
cause
actress's
like,
name?
see, I'm so old. I'm stuck with whoever the stars are around that time, if they were still
Uh
alive,
Yeah.
right? Because like because in trying to imagine the husband, even like you're right, like Emmy, like Rex, I think next to Harry
Rex.
is
Oh my
probably
god,
like
I know. I
because
kind of wish he had a longer
he
chapter.
was a
Yeah, yeah.
simple character. I know.
yeah,
I
Mm,
you
feel
yeah.
can
like
you,
Yeah.
you can tell he's
And
a
when he
decent
when he
guy,
pulled
Guy,
like when
right?
he
yeah.
said, "Oh, maybe we should
Yeah,
sleep together," and Evelyn's like, "No, we shouldn't." And then she's like, "Okay, Like he was such a cool
yeah.
dude.
I
Like
know,
he was
right?
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was gonna say he was my favorite. I feel like he would have given it a
yeah,
chance and he would have been like he's like if she
yeah.
gave it a chance, he
At the
would have
back of the book, there's
tried.
like
But
at
he
the
just
back of
Yeah.
the
wants
book,
like
there's like
love.
questions for the book club,
Oh
right? And
yes.
then that was one of the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
like
Yes.
I
one
yeah.
of your
know. What
favorite
was
Who's your
it? Yeah,
favorite?
yeah.
husband? Yeah, yeah. So
Husband,
for
yeah.
Harry,
Jessica
sorry for Harry,
Chastain.
I just want to
That's
say
the
this because
one.
this has been on my head. Like a young version of David Strathairn. He was who I pictured for Harry. Like a young when he was younger
Oh
at LA
yeah.
Confidential around that time. So I think
Hmm.
the way Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote
Yes.
the book, like you could see it as a movie,
It
right? So I
is.
think right from the beginning,
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
had
yeah,
these
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
characters in my head. Oh,
Who can
Hmm.
it
who
be?
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
characters are, and yeah, and just the way,
That's
yeah,
true. Yeah. And LA
right, yeah,
Confidential, like
yeah,
that feel. Yeah. I
Yes.
think that's what it is, because LA
yeah,
Confidential almost had that same feel. It's so
yeah,
melancholic,
yeah. Even the
even in the
happiest
happiest of
moments, yeah,
I
yeah.
know. It is,
Right? I think
it
that's
is
the
like
yeah.
it's just sad. Like I mean, Hollywood is
It
sort
is.
of a
It is.
sad
Yeah.
place,
At
right?
that
They make
time,
it seem
especially. Yeah.
like you you
Everything,
get the
yeah, it's so everything
fame.
is
Yeah.
surface. Everything is just like appearance and
Like you hear
fake,
about the story
right?
with
Like,
I
Judy Garland,
know.
like
yeah.
what they did to her for Wizard of Oz and
I
that kind of stuff, and you're like, oh
know.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
at that time we just didn't know it, but
Yeah.
that was the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
so
sure
sad.
these days
Yeah. Oh,
there's a
for sure.
modern
Yeah.
version of
Oh,
that,
there's
right? Yeah.
still
Yeah.
even with the Me Too movement, which is just I think just
Yeah.
scratching the surface of
I
what's
Oh my God,
happening
that
in
whole
like
know,
P Diddy
Hollywood,
right?
thing
but
Yeah.
now.
it's like
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I know. I
I
was like,
know.
I like, are there no just decent like celebrities? It's just so, it's so sad. The moment you find out, they're like, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
one after another. It's like, oh.
I know.
I don't know. For some reason though, I want like Zac Efron to be in the movie. If I want, he
Just
can play
anything.
any
Yeah. Oh, he
character.
can be
I want,
Rex.
maybe
Oh,
Don
he
Adler.
can be
Sadly, no. I was
Rex.
gonna say,
Yes.
I was gonna say, I think
No,
it's more
like I
Don
think
Adler.
no, I
I
think it's
was
better
thinking the
to
same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Don Adler, yes.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
I think it's
He's
better
too good
suited to play one
looking.
of the more
Oh.
sleazeball
Yeah.
husband. I think he would
Oh, the
pull that
French
off really
director.
well. Like,
Yeah.
you
The French
know.
director.
Oh.
Yes. Or
It's
even
not Zac
the
Efron.
no, not the French director, but the one that they eloped in Vegas.
Oh
Like,
my
you
Oh,
know.
God. Yeah.
Mick.
Yeah.
Mick
Oh, the
something.
Mick guy. Oh
Yes,
my
right.
God,
He
that
was
was
Mick
funny too.
hilarious.
Rivas.
The yeah. Oh my God, that was a good casting for Zach. Yeah,
I
if
know.
they do that, yeah. The singer,
Right?
right? He's the singer
Oh my
Yeah,
one.
like
Yeah.
God,
that.
yeah, Zac Efron. Yeah,
Like,
yes.
like he's so gullible almost because
Yeah.
he's so full of himself
But
that he's
yo, these
really, she like,
husbands, right?
Yeah.
They're
she
like
kind of,
minor characters in a way, but they're so well fleshed out. Like it's just amazing. It's just amazing how we have like right away, right? Like we can picture
Actually,
who these
there are.
characters
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's yeah,
yeah.
that's really cool.
yeah. That's what it is. They're so
Yeah,
their voices
distinct.
are so distinct. Like,
Mm,
yeah, yeah. And funny enough, even with the way the storytelling between Monique and it's
yeah,
always first person, but then it switched to that second person one
Yeah.
chapter. But
But
like
you know, but
you
you
can
know
tell it's
it's,
Monique
yeah,
talking, and you can tell
yeah,
it's like Evelyn, right? Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Like in Monique's character, sometimes I feel like she was annoying because she needed that guidance almost like because Evelyn helped her like indirectly, I guess, just
yeah,
through her stories that it's like, but she was so like, well, like, I guess, she was so insecure too, right? Like she
yeah.
started off being such
yeah.
an insecure writer that,
I know.
yeah.
It's almost like I mean, it's so weird. I know her character growth. You show it in such a short amount of time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
really, that short amount of time, you grew
2
bulk,
weeks.
like just like that. Like,
2 weeks, girl.
But
That's
that
a long
shows the
time.
impact
I
of
know.
Evelyn on her.
I guess I do give her credit because I think when the ex came back and then like asking to try, and then the way she pointed to him, I said, I
Yeah,
didn't hear from you
yeah,
that you wanted, like you
yeah,
wanted me, or that's something to that effect.
Yeah.
You came back
yeah.
to make it work, like like what is that, like
Who did you
right?
guys picture as
So
Monique?
yeah,
Yeah. I pictured
Issa
either.
Oh,
Issa Rae,
Oh, really?
or a
She's
she's a
like,
bit
younger
older.
version, because
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
she's older now, right? Like
she's too
yeah, yeah,
quirky.
yeah,
I always think,
yeah.
okay, every time there's a black mixed character, I think of the girl from Game of
Oh,
Thrones, like
oh, she's
Daenerys'
good.
assistant.
That's a good casting. Yeah.
I
Who?
know. I
Khaleesi's
always think
the
of
Who's she?
her. I don't
Khaleesi's
know. I can't remember.
assistant, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You know
I
What's
the
the
can't
name?
name?
remember her
Who's the
name.
actress?
Oh, I can't remember. She was in. She's in. Oh my god, I can't
Yeah,
remember. I can't remember the name. Just say
just put Khaleesi's
Daenerys'
name
assistant.
from Game. I pictured the girl from Avengers, the Valkyrie. No, 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 no.
Emilia
Her
Clarke?
assistant. But
No, her
yeah, Elaine, your casting is a lot
assistant.
better. I like that one better because she's the right age too.
Yeah, I always feel like she has that like, and she's like that kind of
Yeah,
innocent. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like that about. Hold on, I don't know her name. Oh, she was in Army
mm,
of Thieves too, I think.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
her. Was she in Game of Thrones?
Yes,
Oh, yes, her. Okay, I can see that.
yes. What's her name? Before we say, it's
Um, you
Nathalie
should have just said
Emmanuel.
you should have just said Fast
Oh, she was in
Five,
Fast Five.
Oh,
Oh
she's
my
or
in.
like
gosh.
I've never
Fast,
seen. I haven't
or
seen
no,
Fast
not five,
Five.
not five.
Mm.
Fast, no, six. I think she was in the six.
Yeah, Nathalie Emmanuel. Natalie
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah,
one.
her. Yeah.
Who else? Who are the other characters? Oh, yeah, for Celia, Jessica
Wait, who's
Chastain,
Oh,
Celia?
I
Who am I
mentioned.
Celia.
talking? Who?
I said Jessica
Oh,
Chastain.
I
That's who
yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
who everybody's
I don't
like
like
wants
her.
for her.
Jessica
Who's
Chastain.
I don't
who?
like her
I
either.
pictured Rooney
I don't
That's
think
for
it's
Mara.
just
sure.
well
The
she,
only reason,
Yeah.
Oh
no,
yeah.
yeah.
she's too
I always picture
European,
Rooney
right?
Mara and any reason for some reason. I just
I think the only thing
Or
with
Emma
Jessica
Stone.
Chastain.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Emma
yeah, I'm not a big
Stone.
Emma Stone fan,
I know,
No.
so
just
I
because I'm
guess.
thinking of
No, no.
redheads.
Oh, well, because like yeah, because she's supposed to be this
mm,
girl next door, right? That like everybody can just relate
yeah.
to. So
Yeah,
I don't
almost
know, Jessica
disarming.
Chastain.
I know. But yeah, she's almost like disarming,
Yeah.
right? Like she's kind of
Jessica
like people can just
Jessica
approach
Chastain
her.
is not approachable. I'm sorry.
I
I
know. I was
said,
gonna say the only thing I like about her is she's married to that like Italian dude who
Oh
owns a
yeah.
winery somewhere in Italy.
I said
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what everybody else is saying. Okay, I didn't say it.
I didn't.
I didn't
Well,
say I was
well,
saying
you brought it up, so
because there's all because that's what ruined for me. That
Oh.
spoiled it for me because they're like, oh, like
Was she supposed to be a
ah, I was like,
oh,
redhead? Oh, I guess
ugh,
so. Right? I don't
yeah,
know.
she's a
I
was she
don't
supposed to
redhead,
be red? She's supposed to be a brunette.
She I think no, Celia's redheaded, I think.
Oh, is
blonde
Yeah.
she
Rooney
really?
Mara
redhead.
can have red.
Yeah, she's a
I just love
She's
Rooney.
fine.
I know. It's like
Rooney.
Rooney
okay,
Mara for
whatever you
everything.
say.
Oh wait, so there are a few questions at the back that I. Oh, okay. There's one question that I want to ask you girls, not in the thing. This is what I was thinking of. If you were Monique, would you show your mother the letter at the end? Would you tell her what
No,
happened?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. You have to explain
She
why. You
didn't. She
wouldn't.
didn't, right?
They didn't say. She's like she doesn't know if she'll do it or not. Like they kind of
Yeah, I
like
would do
left
it.
it open. You'd lie.
I don't think I
Okay.
would either.
How about you,
Yeah, I
Lisa and
know.
Elaine?
I don't think
Lainey?
I would.
No? How about you, Lainey?
I wouldn't.
You
No.
wouldn't.
No.
I
I
don't know.
just leave it.
I feel like I wouldn't, but I also know I have a big mouth, and sometimes cannot. I mean, I cannot.
You do. You do. I'm like, oh, I don't think I was supposed to say that.
I know. I feel like
That's true.
deep in my heart, I wouldn't want to say, but then I feel like it'll eat me up so much, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, I need to like say something.
Dad was bisexual. Did you know that?
Not that Monique's mom is anything like our mom, but our mom is so intuitive.
Oh,
She would have picked up those things.
I just feel like
I
it's
know.
not gonna do any good for anyone else to know. So like, what's the point? Yeah,
That's
Oh,
Really,
that's
you know
true.
what? I mean, at the end of the day, the
yeah. It
father's
doesn't
he's
matter.
passed
Yeah,
away. He's dead, right? Does it really?
That's
Does it
just
true.
really
leave the
matter?
mom with
Yeah.
a
It
good
doesn't matter,
memory of the
right? It
dad.
doesn't.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let it be. Just let it be.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if he was alive, then yes, that's a different story. But
I don't
then
know.
it's
I'd like to think that I won't say it, but I know I feel like my
That's true.
personality
You would
would reveal.
you would reveal
So
it. Accidentally too, not even on purpose. It's like, oh, I didn't know I wasn't.
She's like,
I wasn't meant to.
oh.
I know. I'm like, I thought you knew that.
Assumed you knew that I had a boyfriend. I'm like, I know,
Oh my god.
but it's funny. I mean, it kind of shows you too, like, and I think Monique mentioned this, like, the father left. He died early, but he left such a lasting impact on Monique's life, right? Because and I mean, that sentence you read from Monique about the
Yeah.
father, like the whole life, I think she's chasing that, and that's what kind of made her feel like such a failure, and it's affected her so much that because she's like
Right.
she feels like she's
What
not
she's
doing
supposed to.
her
Yeah. What she's
her
supposed to do.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
But I
no,
think
but
that makes sense, doesn't it? Right? Because I think the letter, because you're right. How can like let's face it, like when you lose a parent that young an age, you barely have any memory, right? But somehow she had enough
that
memory of
Yeah.
her dad.
hmm
So I guess that letter kind of is proof that why, right? Because it kind of it really translated the kind of relationship I think that they have. So
I know. Who else? Well, think about the husbands. Yeah, we've talked about all the husbands, right? Oh, the French
There's
guy. Oh, I was kind of
Dawn.
so mad about the French guy. Like, cause I was,
We were
Oh
all
man,
rooting
he
for
was an
him.
ass.
We were rooting for you, Max.
yes, you. It's
Yeah.
like it's so. But you know what? I like the how like the headlines of the chapter kind of like like it just
Mm.
it broke
Yeah.
down so fast that it ruined it
But even the
whatever she
titles were
was gonna
good
say
foreshadowing
already
of
because
what
she
the husbands were, right? It was
oh
so,
what
it
the
was just
Right,
so,
yeah,
relationships.
yeah.
yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of gives you an idea.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it
God. I
does.
Yeah,
It
wish they turned this
does.
into a
Yeah,
movie
Mhm.
for
yeah.
real. Yeah. That would be nice. I hope
they
so. I hope
will.
so.
It eventually.
Oh,
That's
they?
it. It's
I hope
it's in
so.
the works. Like they've been working on it. But I feel like sometimes it's one of those like I wanted to watch it, but at the same time I feel like it will be such a
Oh, I know.
disappointment.
If
Like
you,
I
it
don't
doesn't live
know.
up to your expectations. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Because
S-
even the Daisy
Yeah.
Six, I
Yeah.
think,
A
and
lot
the
of people didn't like the
Joan, right?
show.
Yeah. It,
Maze Maze Runner.
Oh, God.
Oh, I
there you
That's a
go.
good
know.
example. That's a
Although,
good
mind you,
example.
Maze Runner, because I didn't
Oh,
read the book, I like the
You liked
movie.
it.
No, I read the book. I did not like the movie.
Oh God. I know that's what I'm saying. Like
No, I read all the books and
I
it
know,
was so
I
bad.
heard.
So
I think the
bad.
same thing happened to Beautiful
oh,
Creatures,
the thing,
right?
I
That's why
love that
only one
movie,
movie
but I haven't
got
read the book.
made.
I love
Yeah.
that
I
movie
Yeah.
No.
too. But it's like I read people who read
Me,
the books,
I
like
know,
Yeah.
hated it, right?
but that's what
Because
I'm saying. Sometimes
yeah.
like I feel like if I wish I didn't read the book because I probably would like the movie. I mean, hopefully they do a good job. Let's just hope because they will do it. It's like in the works. It's like I even checked
Is
IMDb. It's
Oh.
it?
there. It's on IMDb.
And
So
in
it's
case, in case
in
any of the
Oh.
production.
producers, in case any
So
of the
it must
producers
be
watching
true.
this, you can get the four of us for casting. We can cast the actors for you.
Yes.
Zac Efron.
Yes.
Nudge,
Zach
Ana de
nudge.
Efron. Oh
Armas.
yeah. That I know Zach Dawson. I mean, I know Don Adler is a bad character,
He
but he's
will,
gonna do
yeah. That's a
so
good
well.
actor. For an actor, that's a
He
I
good
can
will.
meaty
see
role,
him.
yeah.
He will. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's like whoever gets
Yeah.
that because it's like the you know what I mean. And the thing is, he's bad at the same time. There's also the
Yeah.
motivation, right? Because he's like, I'm sure his parents were always like comparing, like he's
But
always comparing himself
but
to the
imagine that.
parents.
Remember that one scene where she called Don at the end, and it's like it was such a small scene. Like
Yeah,
when she
and
called
she's
Don
like,
for a favor, and Don's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
no
yeah.
questions asked,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Done. Like can you do this? Done, right?
like
So
they've resolved, not like they've resolved it, but they found like
Yeah.
sort of
He
peace,
became
like
sober, yeah.
He became sober too.
he's
Sober too,
sober,
yeah.
right?
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
And you're right. That scene, I think, like Evelyn, I think you can't even blame her for feeling like because like when he asked her for forgiveness,
Yeah.
I said I didn't come here for that. Like
Yeah,
I have no time
Yeah.
for that bullshit. Like
I know. But I totally did not. With Harry's spoilers, like Harry's death.
Spoiler.
I mean, I can see why, but I am
Spoiler.
shocked. I am shocked when she like rearranged. She pretty much hid it like that he was the one driving. Right? I don't know. I feel like it's like wow, she really went
Yeah. To
that
protect
far
him, yeah.
to like
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying
yeah.
because even in tragedy, she's so self-aware. I'm like, come on,
I
woman. Like
know.
That was
I
so
mean,
cool.
but
I
yeah,
actually
right.
like
At
that
least
character.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking, oh
yeah.
my god,
Her
right? I
presence,
mean,
yeah. Her
yeah,
presence of mind,
she has
yeah.
enough sense to do that,
Because
right?
she knows,
Yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like
yeah,
the scandal that it's
yeah.
gonna cause. But I think more for the daughter too, right? Like she doesn't want the daughter, maybe to
Mm.
find out. I mean, because he was still alive though at that point. He was still. He might.
He might
She thought he might
survive.
just go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
jail
that's
for
right.
drunk
Yeah.
driving. Yeah,
Oh, when he died in the
yeah,
hospital. Gosh.
Right.
I
I did cry
know.
at
That
that
was
too.
I
so
Yeah.
sad.
know.
Yeah. I actually
Oh,
I cried twice. Like I mean, and then I mean, yes, it was sad when Celia died too. But that scene when like it was actually
I
Celia's
didn't
funeral, and
cry when
then
she died.
you did
but
it?
then
I
she
was
oh really?
crying.
And then on top of that, she also went
Oh,
to
at the
Harry because they're getting
cemetery.
buried in the
Yeah.
same
Oh
You
cemetery.
felt that?
yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, I
for
cried all
sure.
over again, and I'm like,
No. Oh, I forgot Celia's brother.
He
He was
was
a good
too,
husband. I
yeah.
mean, he did it
Short
for
chapter.
oh
Yeah.
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 right, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yes. And then now it made sense why she is so rich because Celia's
Estate,
estate, the
yeah. It
mother's
kind of
Yes.
went
estate,
to
like
her.
Harry's estate, right? Like,
Oh, what do you guys
Mhm.
think of Army
yeah.
Hammer as Rex North? I'm kind of digging Army Hammer
Oh.
You
lately.
know,
Rex is a good.
before
I
that, whatever
know, but
he
I'm kind
did,
of physically,
Okay,
I
but
think.
I did see. Okay, you know the House of a Hammer.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah.
Okay, I did. Okay, this might be controversial, but I was like, it wasn't that bad.
I know, but like I know this is controversial. I know, but I'm like, because I saw
I
Rebecca too, and I
know,
was like,
but I feel
oh, he
like
did Rebecca right at Netflix, and I was like,
no,
oh,
but
Armie Hammer. Yeah,
oh, he did.
he's Max in that
No,
movie.
but
Yeah.
it's like
Hmm.
oh, okay. No, but what he did is like he didn't really
No, it was
eat
just all
people. He just talked.
talk.
He just kind
It's just all
of.
talk.
It's all talk.
But it's
Oh, I
gross, okay?
pictured him as
I
Rex.
know, but
No,
I
I
feel
was
like,
dig it. I can dig Armie
but I'm
Hammer.
like, oh my god, I hope people don't. I hope people don't see the message I send my friends because I was like, you might think we're psychotic if people can see the messages. See the messages you send each other, and I'm like, isn't that vain? You know, sometimes you just go a little bit too far. That is like, but you know, you don't mean it. But yeah. Yeah, but you're right. Actually, Army, and I'm not, yeah, too bad. If okay, if
Yeah,
there's
without
no scandal and just
just
for
for looks. Yeah,
looks, and like, yeah, he
Hmm.
definitely
that's
has
what I'm
that old
thinking.
timey
Yeah,
Hollywood
he
look to
Yes,
does.
it.
he does. The
Yeah, right.
blonde
Like the
look.
old style
Yeah,
Yes.
Hollywood
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If anyone's watching that, okay, this just jokes. Don't take my,
But
don't hate me
people
if I
also
say
need
something.
second chances. Okay, people need second chances.
Well, yes, I guess. I mean, it'll be different if he actually ate
Oh, but he
people.
didn't.
I mean, to
He
write
just talks
about
about
it.
it.
Then he could be like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh,
Yeah, and yeah, right,
Jeffrey
Lisa.
Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer also would fit the look, the
I
blonde
know.
Hollywood, you know. Yeah, let's go for that. Why not?
I
Like, you know.
mean, like
Oh.
you'll give Army Hammer like a second chance, and it actually eats people.
Well, if he actually eat people, like I said, he'd be like a Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
sorry. So forget this on going on YouTube. So sorry. So sorry. We're just kidding, guys. We're
Wait,
just
who
joking.
did we
We
say
just
Max
joke you.
Oh,
Gerard
Max
is?
Gerard. That's a French director, right?
Oh,
Yeah, Jean
Yeah.
oh
Reno.
my
I
god.
always
It could be.
Jean Reno for anything French.
Oh my God. Oh, no, no, it's that.
I
What's
could
his
be
name?
Timothy
Oh,
The.
he's
Chalamet.
young. He's too young.
Timothy.
Oh,
Timothée
no.
Chalamet.
He's
Timothy.
so. I don't like him. He's
Yo,
so.
he was
What?
so
I
good
like
at
Imp
the
or
him.
something.
Monka too.
Oh, I have to
I don't
see
know. I
Dune. I
don't
still
like the way
haven't
he.
watched
I know,
Dune.
I don't like the way
right?
he looks.
I like
I
him
like
too.
him. Okay,
I
who's a good
no, I don't
French
like him.
guy?
What about
Oh,
that? Oh, he used to be in Amelie, and I think he's a
Oh,
director
the
now.
the lead guy at Amelie.
Um,
Oh,
yes,
oh, he's cute.
Matthew
He's a
oh,
director now.
Kassovitz. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Him.
think,
Yeah.
Yo,
yeah. I think
yes.
I've seen his name a few times. I'm pretty sure
no.
he's directing now.
Now
Yeah.
that you say that, I actually think what's his name? The one who was married to, I think, or they were together. Love Me. The movie's called Love Me If You
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Dare.
Oh, who's that?
Um, oh, Guillaume. Guillaume.
Yeah,
Is that how you say it?
Guillaume.
Canet. She
Yes.
was married to Marion
Oh,
Cotillard. I think they were married or they were
Oh,
Oh.
together. His name is Guillaume. Guillaume Canet.
he starred in it, or he's directed. He directed.
He starred in it.
Guillaume Canet. Yeah. Oh,
The
he is
movie's called Love
cute. I'm
Me.
looking at him now. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But he looks like
right.
such a
Yes.
goody goody
Yes.
though.
Yes.
Can he play Gerard?
That's what I'm saying. You
But
sort
so
of
it is
don't
even with
expect
Matthew
it.
Kassovitz. They're supposed to have that look, I guess.
Oh,
Those
you know, Marion
Frenchmen.
Cotillard would actually be good casting too for Evelyn.
Still be good.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
She's such a good
Oh,
actress.
Yeah.
right.
I know.
And
Yeah,
she
she
was
would.
blonde too. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
She was good as
Mhm.
Yeah.
PF, right?
She could also
Edith
play
PF.
Celia.
So,
I do like her.
Oh yeah.
Marianne. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, are we in the ratings now? Oh my
Oh
god,
my God,
okay.
I
yeah,
think
we
I'm
so.
were
such an
Oh my
going
God.
Asian.
An hour and 8.
Yes, we're over an
Huh?
hour.
Oh my God. Taylor Jenkins Reid. See, this is what you did.
I know. I'm sorry guys. I'm getting Asian flush from like drink. It's like
Hot flashes.
I'm getting all red. I'm getting all red. Okay. So we will do the ratings now. Oops. For the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo. We will start the same order that we talked about it. L, give us your rating.
Um, the only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars is because as much as the writing is good and all that, usually 5 stars for me are like rereads, and I don't know if I have the heart or if I have the the energy to reread something that takes so much out of or that took so much out of me. So that on that note, I will give it 4 stars. And I think
Okay.
because the writing is good. Um, even like yes, like every we've all talked about, like she wrote really well, like this flawed characters. But I wish there was at least maybe there is one right there. I was gonna say I wish there was one redeeming
Harry.
character, but Harry, yes, I know,
Hmm.
right? Okay, so for
Mm-hmm.
now it's 4 stars. I may bump up as I'm finished writing my review.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, 4 stars.
4 stars. Yeah. Okay, Lisa, it is your turn.
I enjoyed the book. I would give the same rating, 4 stars. I really
Okay.
enjoyed the book. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Emmy?
6 out of 5.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I just really, really
Who's
love the book.
oh yay, I'm glad. Okay. So
Good.
for
Very
me,
good.
so I was gonna give it 4.5 out of stars, but then I was like, I gave Ice Planet Barbarians 5 stars. So I cannot for the life of me go lower than Ice Planet Barbarians. But
But
Yeah,
this
they're
I know.
apples
Yeah.
and oranges. It's
Yeah. No, but it's true.
okay,
I don't
lady.
rate
It's
romance the
okay.
same as
no,
contemporary too.
Okay.
I don't rate them the same, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
you
Yeah.
don't have to
but
re-rate them the same. Yeah.
no, but it left me. I feel like it made me think, and I love that about it. It's like almost. I mean, I don't love it as much, but I mean, To Kill a Mockingbird, I love that. Like, I sort of had the same sort of context for me of like books that made you think. So five
Mm-hmm.
stars, 5 stars, 5 star. I'm also a generous. I'm also generous in my rating, but I feel like this one really deserved it.
Yeah.
5 stars. And I will, but you're right though. It's a hard. I think I wouldn't reread it because it's not good. It's just because it is like a draining read almost. It really.
Mm.
But I think maybe a second read will be better because you already know what's
Yeah.
going on, so it might be more
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable in that
I
sense.
think I
But
would reread certain parts. Maybe not the whole book at once, but certain parts that I enjoyed, I might want to reread again. I think. Yeah.
yes, yeah, it's like such a well-written book, and now it kind of introduced me to this author as well, like who is famous. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I just haven't read from her, so I like that. I probably will read her other
And now that
books.
we've read it, she's famous. There you go, Elaine.
I know now she's legit. Now that the crazy bookish
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Asians
that we've reviewed it, yes.
have picked the book. So, all our 19 subscribers now, maybe, which I'm really happy about. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm so happy that you 19 people
Yeah.
want to listen to us chat. And don't
Yeah.
forget, Emmy is the most active out of all the crazy bookish Asians on YouTube. So please watch all our videos.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Like it's so good. Yay! Okay, so now I will
Mm-hmm.
pass the baton to Lisa, who will be
Ah.
picking our next read. So just a reminder, we do our book club every first Sunday of the month, and we post it the week after, like Monday, hopefully, but within the few days after that. Lisa, I pass it on to you.
Okay, so I was torn between two books. One was probably maybe too angsty for me, so I decided not to go with it. So the next book club read will be Allie
Bruh.
Hazelwood's
Yeah.
Ah.
Bride.
They have it in Costco as well.
Okay.
The actual book. Yeah, yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
It's called Bride,
Oh.
A
Ali
vampire,
Hazelwood.
vampire
Oh
werewolf.
my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could
Yes,
also
So
yes,
this
use
is
you
yes.
could also use
I
your
already
gift
used
card
it.
and
Yeah.
Loisa's
oh
and your gift
dear.
card. It's already done.
Yeah, okay. All right, done.
Upcoming video.
this is now our second thing.
Oh, good. Yes.
Wait, this is our second Allie
No,
Hazelwood.
technically first
No,
because
it's
we
our
never did
first.
a book club on the love
First.
hypothesis, right? We never did this. No, we didn't
No,
Did
discuss
this
we
is
it.
our
not?
first.
We just
No,
No,
all
we
read
just
it.
read it. We
no.
just read it individually.
Oh, and we
Yeah.
talked so much about
Lois
it,
said
like
this is
in
Omegaverse.
Yes.
offline. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I heard this is Omegaverse. Vampires and werewolves. So I don't
Oh,
know if
oh,
yeah.
Ooh, good choice,
Something
Mm.
different, girl.
Lisa. So every
I
week
don't
we
know if
try
you like
all
to.
it,
right.
but
We will probably
something
like it.
different.
Are
We
we
are
good? Are
Sounds
we
good.
good.
done?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Crazy Bookish Asians. And thanks you for watching. If you're still here, thank you.
I know. I think this is the longest we've ever recorded. So if
Thank
you're still
you.
here, good
Yes.
on you.
Every
Yes. Thank
view
you.
we treasure
Thank
every view. So
you.
thank you.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah, because I hope,
Absolutely.
we're here to
Thank
inspire
you.
people to read and to entertain. So thank you for watching and hope to see you soon. So, Emmy, like and subscribe. What's your like? Okay. See you guys later. Bye.